What's up, everybody? We've got some news that broke last night that I just wanted to share with y'all. Yosh is retiring. So that's a big blow to the Panthers offensive line, which is already weak in lots of ways. But yeah, Yosh is retiring. And like once again, that creates issues for a very, very thin, very thin um, left tackle group, with Icky not being able to be back. And so when this first broke, we had Sheena essentially saying Panthers offensive lineman appears to be taking another hit as tackle. Yosh Nijman seemingly announces his retirement after seasons via his Instagram account. So that's how we found out about it last night. This was like 7:42 p.m. I think that's my time. So was it like 10:42? And honestly, part of this kind of explains the Stone Forsythe signing. A lot of fans did not like Stone, and I get it, right? Like, and now I do think people were like kind of just sharing the PFF grades, and that Raiders offensive line was trash. I thought it was fine. I was like, hey, this is like a depth piece. It's not that big a deal, but a lot of Panthers fans did not enjoy it. Let's see what Mike K also has something to say about it. So I'm going to pull up what Mike said about it as well. So Mike here essentially says, as a guy who likes using the term swing tackle in my daily vernacular, I have to say that Yosh did his job well over 2 years in Carolina. He had some particular great moments this season during the turnaround. I enjoyed covering him and made him the focus of an Access Panthers newsletter back in December after the last win of 2025. I think he also there was something else that he said here too in terms of, Yosh seemed sentimental during clean out day. In retrospect, I remember interviewing him for the draft as a prophet from New Jersey. Good for him. So once again, that's the announcement. Yosh is not leaving. It leaves us with a huge hole at left tackle. Leaves the Panthers with a huge hole in left tackle. Obviously, I I have enough trust in Dan Morgan and what he has done the last 2 years from a draft perspective that he's not going to roll out Stone at the left tackle position. I mean, that would be ludicrous. That would be ludicrous for Dan Morgan to be like, yeah, I think we're good. I think this is what we're going to roll out in terms of I think this is what we're going to roll out in terms of who we have. I just don't. I think Dan is smarter than that. But it's an issue now. We're going to have to do something about left tackle. If you want to read, the Carolina Panthers had an article that they put out. If you go to carolinapanthers.com, and they essentially said, that he announced his retirement. And so they had a really good piece on him, essentially just honoring him and honoring the kind of career that he had. And, it's a whole thing here in terms of, really nice quotes from Brad and everybody. So if y'all are interested in that, go to carolinapanthers.com. They always do a great job. I'm not going to go into all of that during this video because I feel like we've already covered the main part of it. But yeah, they did a phenomenal job, I thought, of really kind of honoring how he played. I mean, it's crazy that he was undrafted out of Virginia Tech. Undrafted out of Virginia Tech, which is a really big deal. I tweeted out earlier today in Matt Bowen's best free agent available articles today, Rasheed Walker is number one if I'm Dan Morgan. I'm making a call to see what it would take. So let's pull up that article because there's some really good stuff here in terms of potential guys. Rasheed Walker, what he brings, Walker's pass block win rate of 93.8, ranked 11th among 68 qualifying offensive tackles. His technique could still improve, and he lacks a strong anchor, but he has the footwork and ability to match the speed of edge rushers. Look, I think he would be a really good get. Ricky had an interesting point in terms of, Ricky's a really good follow if y'all are interested in this, but he was making a point that he really likes Decker when it comes to this. And he kind of convinced me a little bit. So, there was some back and forth, but he said, and this is really good, I like Rasheed Walker and would be very happy to entertain the idea as well. But do the exact reason Greg knows at the end, the 1 year likely being appealing, I think that fits the timeline pretty well. what we know about Decker is that there were essentially just some contract things that did not go according to plan. But if you're a Panthers guy and you're wanting us to get somebody, I mean, I think Rasheed Walker or Decker would be an option. If you don't do that, you literally force yourself to go tackle in the first round. And I've been very vocal about the fact that I have some real concerns with this tackle class. There's a lot of potential tackle prospects that might end up, being tackles, but are seen more as guards. I mean, there's all kinds of things, right? So, I don't know. I think we just got to be careful with forcing an LT pick when the LT pick is not there. So it's it's a problem. Icky going down in that Rams game was huge. Icky going down in that Rams game brought about a whole different set of issues, and now we got to figure out what we're going to do. But yeah, this let me share this tab instead. This Matt Bowen article was really good in terms of just the available free agents that are left. Who are the guys that, the Panthers are potentially interested in getting? You've got, I mean, two out of the top four. So Rasheed Walker is there. Kyler Murray, he was probably going to sign with the Vikings. Juan Jennings. There were some reports about Carolina Juan. I don't really make anything of those, if I'm quite honest. And then Taylor Decker. So once again, it is not too late to make a move. But yeah, that's all for today. As always, subscribe, share. It helps the growth of the channel. If there's specific questions that y'all have, let me know, and I might do a mailbag at some point. But yeah, hope y'all have a good one.